Guys, I'm telling you, man, the people who are governing this country, man, are insane. These people are dangerous, man. You remember recently there was a video of a Patriotic Alliance members chasing out illegal foreigners at the border there between South Africa and Zimbabwe. You remember that video went viral recently. And guys, again, did you see how easy it is for these people, man, to go from Zimbabwe to come into South Africa? And the fact that we don't have security, guys. These people can simply walk in from Zimbabwe to South Africa. We don't have security. None whatsoever. Then you have President Ramaphosa and his administration going around poking the likes of Israel, poking the likes of the United States as if we have some sort of defense. We don't even have defense. We don't even have borders. But these people, they go around condemning people like Israel as if today, if something can happen to South Africa, we can actually defend ourselves. We can't even defend ourselves against the poor illegal immigrants. How the hell are we supposed to defend ourselves against some military capable countries like Israel? This is one of the reasons why I tell politicians that, guys, stop obsessing about this thing of Israel and Palestine. Because if those people just decide one day to look at you and give you this attention that you want, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. You have South African politicians going around complaining, making noise about Israel and Palestine as if we have defense. We don't have defense. We are vulnerable. We can't even defend ourselves against the poor illegal immigrants. How the hell are we supposed to defend ourselves against the capable countries like Israel? We need to stop doing this, man. It serves us no purpose. It serves us no purpose. I mean, like, you look at how easy these people can simply walk from Zimbabwe to South Africa. There's no wonder crime is so totally out of control in South Africa. No wonder many of these people who come into the country illegally, no wonder they commit crime with such ease, because they know that I can simply walk outside of South Africa. I can simply walk. Then you have the people like the EFF going around telling us that, no, what we are doing, we are being xenophobic. Right now, these people, man, they are trying to force South Africans to live with illegal foreigners. South Africans are telling these people in government, South Africans are telling the likes of Julius Malema, they are telling them that, guys, we cannot live with illegal foreigners in South Africa. But these people, man, they keep insisting for South Africa to live with illegal foreigners. And what is really surprising about these politicians that go around and try to force South Africans to live with foreigners is that they don't have to share anything with these illegal foreigners. Illegal foreigners today, they are sharing hospitals with average South Africans. Illegal foreigners today, they have security. Illegal foreigners today, if they seek medical attention, they are accepted in our hospitals. Politicians, they don't have to do that. They don't have to live with them. Politicians are living in the suburbs. They are happy there in the suburbs, in the gated community. Even you, as a South African, you cannot even enter some of these places where these people live. These people, they live in the places that no any other people can simply walk in and come. Like, where the likes of Julius Malema, Cyril Ramaphosa, where these people live, they live in highly gated communities. You will not get in. Even if you are a South African, you will not get in. You will not get in. So it's fine for them to protect themselves, but for South Africa to be vulnerable. This is the kind of hypocrisy that these people make, and it frustrates me, this hypocrisy. It completely frustrates me, because it makes no sense. Why do you think it's okay for you and your family to have safety? Why do you think it's okay for you and your family to live in an area where people cannot simply walk in and out as they please, but you expect the South Africans to live in a country where people can simply walk in and out from neighboring countries? It frustrates me. And they are covering up this whole thing with that nonsense of one Africa, we are Pan-Africanist, we are one as Africanists. There's no such thing as we are one as African. If we were really one as Africans, these people wouldn't come to South Africa to commit all of these crimes that they are committing today. Go to Johannesburg, man. Majority of the buildings in Johannesburg today, they are being hijacked by illegal foreigners. These buildings, they are being turned into illegal settlements. These people, man, and they open their doors. Now they are landlords. They are landlords. Then you have people who are going around telling us that we must open up our borders because Europe doesn't have the borders. That is the logic that you people are getting from the leader of the EFF. The EFF right now, with African National Congress, they are angry at Patriotic Alliance. Just look at the Minister of Defense right now. The video that I'm about to play you, man, you would swear that the Minister of Defense, it is so pissed off that South Africa does not have security. So what is the purpose? So what is the reason? Why is this woman even earning a salary if we don't even have borders? Why is she even earning a salary? Why are taxpayers continuing paying people like this one to do absolutely nothing? Gideon Mackenzie and Patriotic Alliance, man, these people were running there. These people were running, chasing illegal foreigners, man. There was no members of South African military. There was no members of border management. There was nothing. There was nothing. So the question is, if Patriotic Alliance is not there, who is guarding there? No one is guarding there. That's why illegal foreigners can do as they please in South Africa. Then you have the media, the African National Congress, and their biggest supporter, the EFF. Whenever we raise things like this, these people are quick to tell us that we are xenophobic. They are quick to tell South Africans that you are xenophobic. They expect South Africans, they expect every South Africans to live in the country and to share the resources, to share and to even fight for employment opportunities with these people who come outside of the country. I mean, we know that the big business loves it when illegal foreigners come inside of the country. Today, you have South Africans sitting at home. Illegal foreigners, man, they are all over the place. Companies are hiring illegal foreigners left, right, and center. That's why today, if you dare say anything about illegal foreigners, the media will come out and say that you are xenophobic. People like Julius Malema will come out and say that you are xenophobic. They expect you, as an average South African, to share everything with illegal foreigners while they live comfortably with their families there in the suburbs. And South Africans, the poor South Africans that are being forced to share employment opportunities with illegal foreigners are agreeing with this. South Africans, man, that are the victims of some of the most heinous crimes committed by these people, man, are agreeing with the likes of ANC and the EFF. So I guess right now it is safe to say that the coalition of the ANC and the EFF, man, is completely going to destroy this country. For the longest time, people said that, man, you know, if the EFF goes into coalition with the ANC, I'm telling you today, this country will crumble. And this is exactly why. The Minister of Defense in South Africa, she is not angry because we don't have borders. She's not angry because there was no visibility of South African National Defense Force members. There was no visibility of the border management. There was no visibility of anything other than Patriotic Alliance. You would think that the Minister of Defense would actually be angry at the fact that our borders are so open. No. She's angry at Patriotic Alliance for chasing out illegal foreigners. She wants the South Africans to live with illegal foreigners. So the question again comes, why the hell are taxpayers continuing to pay these women if we don't even have the borders in South Africa? These people are going around making crazy statements, talking crazy with some of the countries that have the most advanced military weapons. They go around making crazy statements against some of those countries, whereas we don't even have the borders. We don't even have the borders. Man, I don't know why do these people think that the South Africans must be forced to live with illegal foreigners. South Africans, men, will not be forced to live with illegal foreigners. You can call us xenophobic, we don't care. Call us xenophobic as you want, we don't care. We don't care. You can come and call me xenophobic, I will speak for myself, I don't care. You can call me a xenophobic all you want, I don't care. I know that the majority of South Africans are with me. I know that the majority of South Africans do not want to live with the illegal foreigners. And these people, men, who are speaking on behalf of illegal foreigners are portraying South Africans as if South Africans hate immigrants. We don't hate immigrants. South Africans, men, what they are saying is that if you want to come into the country, man, why don't you come legally? Why don't you come with the papers? Why don't you come at the port of entry? Why is it so hard for these people to come at the port of entry? These people, man, they are skipping borders. Then you have South Africans, man, saying, yeah, it's okay for those people to skip the borders. I guess all of these things, it's fine for them to say until maybe you lose your sister, until maybe you lose your brother, you lose your mother in the hands of illegal foreigners. Then you will understand why we keep saying people who come into the country, they can come into the country. We don't hate immigrants. We don't hate foreigners. We love foreigners. South Africa is one of the most diverse countries in the world. We have a lot of people coming from all over the world. We don't hate foreigners in South Africa. But as average South Africans, we are saying that if you want to come into the country, you must come into the country legally. You must come into the country with the papers. Why is it such a hard thing? Why is it such a controversial thing to say? Why is it controversial to say that if you want to come and live in South Africa, you must come with the papers, you must come legally? Today, I dare you to go to Zimbabwe without your papers. I dare you. All of these people, man, that are speaking on behalf of the Zimbabweans, on the behalf of Nigerians, on behalf of Somalians, all of these people, man, that are in South Africa to do nothing but to cause harm to this country, man, they will never do all of these things in those countries. They will never do that. How many South Africans are living today in Nigeria without the proper documents? South Africans are not like that. You will never hear cases of South Africans all over the world trying to enter the other countries without the papers. It's there and there, but it's not something that is often. It's not often. But you look at these people like Zimbabwe, you look at these people like Nigeria, Somalia, man, they make it look like it's a norm. They want us to accept it as a norm. Now the South Africans are xenophobic. South Africans are xenophobic. If you're a South African and you dare say anything, then these people are willing to come out and call you xenophobic simply because you say that if you want to come into the country, you must come legally. I don't know why this whole thing is such a controversial statement to make. It is not a controversial statement to make. We've seen what illegal foreigners are doing. And just because we have criminals in this country, man, you know, one of the arguments that really frustrates me is that every time when we talk about illegal foreigners and the crime that these people are committing in South Africa, someone will tell you that it doesn't matter, even South Africa has criminals. I mean, like, it's fine. It's fine for us to have the criminals that are born in South Africa. We know that we can track these people down and we can actually hold them accountable. It's just a pity that our country is run by the African National Congress, man. Every state institution has been fucked up right now. But all I'm saying is that at least if you live in South Africa or if you have the documents to be in this country, if you do something, we can track you down and actually hold you accountable. These people, men, are committing heinous crimes in South Africa. And families, men, are left with no closure. Then you have people going around trying to please politicians by saying that we must allow illegal foreigners to come into the country. Man, I am not waiting for me to lose my child. I am not waiting to lose my brother or to lose my sister in the hands of illegal foreigners before I say that, okay, these people, man, are not good for the country. If you are good for South Africa, then you are going to come into the country legally. Again, I mean, this is one of the things that I've said earlier. I said, the foreigners that are in the country legally, all of these people that are in the country legally, they must fight and make sure that the people who are in the country illegally are out of the country, they are deported. Because these people that are in the country illegally, they are making things hard for the people who are in the country with documents and legal. They are making it hard for them. They are making it hard. If you come from Zimbabwe and you know that you went through all the troubles to get your documents so that you can be a well-contributing, active member of society in South Africa, you come and you take all of that effort into making sure that you have documents, then someone simply crosses the border. If that person does something bad and that person and South Africans actually discover that person is a Zimbabwean, it doesn't matter if you are in the country with documents, people are going to hate you too. So the foreigners that are in the country with the papers, man, they don't see that these people that are coming into the country illegal, they are actually making things hard even for them. I always made an example about the riots. I said, man, the reason why I said the reason why these illegal foreigners, the reason why foreigners that are in the country legally, if they don't speak out, the reason why it's dangerous for them is because if one of them, or if someone who comes from Nigeria or Zimbabwe, or if that person does something bad, it doesn't matter if you are in the country legal. If people are protesting, they are out for vengeance, they are angry, there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do. Do you think that if South Africans know that there's an illegal, there's a foreigner that lives there, do you think South Africans are going to sit and be like, does that person have papers or not? No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Because you people who are in the country with the papers, you are failing to speak out. Despite these people giving you people a bad name, you are failing to speak up. So it's your fault too. It's your fault. It's your fault. Guys, can you honestly listen to what the Minister of Defense is saying? Like guys, the Minister of Defense is angry at the Patriotic Alliance. The Minister of Defense is not angry at the foreigners simply crossing our borders to come into South Africa and to expect the taxpayers in this country to cover everything for them. She's not angry about that. She's angry about the people who are chasing illegal foreigners. Can you believe this? It's unbelievable, man.
We've also had to deal with what we saw on social media. I see there is a party that is running around to the borders, especially around the rivers of this country, saying it is apprehending people especially from Zimbabwe, who are jumping in. The responsibility for border management, the responsibility to ensure that South Africa's lives, integrity, life and limb is intact, rests with the National Defence Force and
where the hell was where the hell was that SANDF? Where the hell was that force that you are talking about? The responsibility to guard the boats lies with the defense force. Where the hell was that defense force when Gaten McKenzie and Patriotic Alliance were chasing out illegal foreigners? Where the hell were they? She's angry because South Africans are actually guarding South Africa. She's angry because you have South Africans who are saying we are sick and tired of these people, men, who come from all over the place simply to turn this country into a shithole. She's angry about that. She's not angry about these people who come into the country illegal. She's telling us about the responsibility, and the responsibility lies with the South African National Defence Force. Where the hell was South African National Defence Force when Gaten McKenzie and Kenny Kunene and the members of Patriotic Alliance were running after the illegal foreigners? Where the hell was this force that you are talking about, Mrs. Tandumudis? And guys, can you like, man, this woman this woman is your Minister of Defence. Your safety, the safety of your family, your safety of your children lies in the hands of this woman. This woman who says that it's okay for illegal foreigners to come into the country illegal, but it's not okay for South Africans to say that you must not come into the country illegal. It's okay for foreigners to jump borders, but it's not okay for South Africans to say, guys, you cannot come into the country illegal. She's advocating for the rights of illegal foreigners over the rights of South Africans. But they are advocating for the rights of illegal foreigners. Simply put, these people hate South Africa. These people hate South Africa. They are not the South Africa first people, man. You know, man, if I was the president of this country, man, I'm telling you, I don't care how radical it is. I'm telling you, I would push the South Africa first policy. South Africa first. South Africa first. I'm sick and tired, man, of politicians going around screaming on top of their lungs, saying that we want to fight for the people of Palestine. We want to make sure that the people of Palestine have water and electricity, when the people of South Africa don't have water and electricity. You have this idiot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for calling you an idiot, my mom. I know you are an elder to me. I'm so sorry. You have this woman. She's angry, completely angry at Patriotic Alliance. She's not angry. She's not angry at these people, man, who can simply walk and jump the border. She's not angry at the fact that South African National Defence Force was nowhere to be seen. She's not angry at the fact that those border management agency personnel were nowhere to be seen. She's not angry about that. She's not angry about that. So, like, why do these people, man? Why do these people want to force South Africans to live with illegal foreigners? And when South Africans say that, guys, it's not like we hate migrants. It's not like we hate immigrants. We don't hate immigrants. We love immigrants. South Africa loves immigrants. But the narrative right now that is being painted about South Africa all over the world is that South Africa is a xenophobic country. You will read about the articles, man. You read about the articles that have been written about South Africa. Even in the United States, man, they are telling you that there is genocide in South Africa today. Even Elon Musk was talking that in South Africa there is genocide. Can you believe that? People are writing crazy things about South Africa. But we simply want people to come into the country legally. Why is it so hard for us as average South Africans to say that, guys, it's okay if you come from Zimbabwe and you want to live in South Africa? It's okay if you come from Zambia, you want to live in South Africa. It's okay if you come from Mozambique, you want to live in South Africa. It is okay. You are completely welcome. But please follow the protocols. Follow the protocols. That is the only thing that South Africans are asking from these people. Now, these people, man, they are angry at you. They are angry at people like me who are speaking out against this nonsense that is happening at the borders. They are angry at people like me. They want people like me to come on these platforms to advocate for illegal foreigners to come into the country illegal. despite everything that illegal foreigners have done into this country. These people, man, they want us to advocate for the rights of illegal foreigners. These people, man, they don't love South Africa. It is not South Africa first to them. It's not South Africa first. Because if it was South Africa first, man, they would understand that, man, if you want to come into the country legally, if you want to come into the country, you must do it legally. Taxpayers in this country, man, are already facing hell. Taxpayers are facing hell. Cost of living is going up while their salaries have been stagnant. Cost of living is going up and the salary is there. And South African taxpayers have been told to pay for these people's security, to pay for these people's medical attention, to pay for these people's accommodation. South African taxpayers are required to do that. So as a taxpayer, are you happy that this is a nonsense that you are paying for? This is a nonsense that you are paying for. You see, me personally, man, I'm not going to fall for that one Africa nonsense, man. That one Africa nonsense, I know it does not work. It will never work. You will never go to Nigeria without the papers, man. You can't go to Nigeria without the papers, man. They will show you flames. You can't go simply to Zimbabwe without the papers. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, man, they will show you flames. They will show you flames. But in South Africa, man, if South Africans dare say anything, they are being told that they are discriminatory, they are xenophobic, they hate Africans, they are Afrophobic. There's a new word. They call it Afrophobic. They say that we are Afrophobic simply because we are advocating for the rights and safety of South Africans. They are calling us Afrophobic because they want us to come on these platforms and advocate for the rights of illegal foreigners. I will never come on these platforms and advocate for the rights of illegal foreigners. I will never come on this platform and advocate for any political party or a politician, man. I will always come on this platform and advocate for the rights and safety of the people of this country. My loyalties lie with the people of South Africa. I don't care about politicians. I don't care about politics. My loyalty lies with the people of this country. And I know of the crime that has been committed in this country by illegal foreigners on the people of this country. So I'm not going to wait until I become a victim of these people who come outside of South Africa without the papers, man. How would you feel if you would find your sister dead? Or how would you feel if you find your younger brother or your brother dead, being killed by an illegal foreigner? Then you have the police telling you that, man, we know we have the weapons that actually killed your brother, we have the weapons that actually killed your sister, but we cannot trace that person. We think that person comes from Namibia or Zimbabwe or anywhere else. How would you feel? How would you feel not getting any closure? How would you feel not getting any justice, losing a family member in the hands of illegal foreigner? How would you feel? Are we supposed to sit here and wait for us to become the victims before we actually come and speak out? No. The crime that has been committed in South Africa by South African born criminals, it is not like the crime that has been committed in South Africa by people who were not born into this country. South African born criminals can actually be tracked down and actually be held accountable. People who come outside of this country, man, there's no information about them. They cannot be tracked down. Why is it so hard for people to understand that South Africans do not hate immigrants? We do not hate immigrants. We love immigrants. But the fact is that we love people who come into the country with the papers. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Nah. One Africa. We must push one Africa. All of us are black. There is no foreigner in Africa. You see, these illegal foreigners, man, the reason why these people are committing heinous crimes is because they know you have South African born idiots who will tell you that, nah, we are all black, there's no foreigner in Africa. This is one of the reasons why they are committing crimes all over the place, because they know we've got South African born idiots who are willing to look the other way. These people are willing to look the other way. The EFF is willing to look the other way. The ANC is willing to look the other way. Guys, I guess right now, the coalition of the ANC and the EFF, man, I think it is safe to say that the coalition of these people, man, would actually destroy this country. It will destroy this country, and this country will never come back. It will destroy this country. Look at the Minister of Defense. Look how furious she is. She's so furious. She's so furious. How can you chase away illegal foreigners? How can you do that? You know we love illegal foreigners. You know we love it when these people come into the country and commit the CITs and do all sorts of crimes. That's what we want. If you are a South African and you speak against illegal foreigners, man, we don't want that. Look how furious she is. If I was a minister of defense, man, I would be furious at the fact that we don't have the borders. I would be furious at the fact that the Patriotic Alliance actually exposed us and showed the South Africans that South Africa is not safe. I would be furious that Patriotic Alliance actually showed the world that South Africa is not safe. How many people do you think actually saw that video? How many adversaries of South Africa do you think actually saw that video? I would be furious that Patriotic Alliance exposed me. I would be furious. I would never be furious at Patriotic Alliance actually trying to help me fight. I would never. But because these people are insane, they don't live in the same. These people are completely out of touch with reality. They are completely out of touch with reality. That is the easiest way to summarize it. Because if they really were in touch with the reality, if they really came into the neighborhoods and listened to the people and hear what the people are saying about illegal foreigners, because they don't do that, they live in the suburbs, they expect you to share everything with the illegal foreigners. They expect you to share the resources, to share the the employment opportunities. They want you to compete with illegal foreigners in your own country. Why? Because they live in the suburbs. Their children are attending schools in Europe. They don't care about the education system. When they need medical attention, they go to private hospitals. They don't care about the public hospitals. You, as an average citizen, you have to share a private hospital, a public hospital with an illegal foreigner. That's what they want. And according to them, it's okay. And how is it okay?
We've also had to deal with what we saw on social media. I see there is a party that is running around to the borders, especially around the rivers of this country, saying it is apprehending people, especially from Zimbabwe, who are jumping in. The responsibility for border management, the responsibility to ensure that South Africa's lives, integrity, life and limb is intact, rests with the National Defence Force and lately with the Border Management Agency. And another aspect of it with the South African Police Services. No citizen of this country, we don't care what party they belong to, is allowed to run around amok with what looks like a machine gun. So again, as we did with the AfriForum when they said they would.
No citizen of this country is allowed to protect their own people. You are not allowed to protect your own people. That's why the South African Police Service and the Minister of the South African Police Service will tell you that not to take the matters into your own hands, despite him knowing very well that the South African Police Service is completely incompetent. They are telling you not to take the matters into your own hands. They want you to trust the South African Police Service, knowing very well how incompetent South African Police Service is. She says she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care who you are. You don't have the right to protect yourself. You don't have the right to protect your country. You don't have the right to protect your family. You don't have the right. Criminals are being given rights over South Africans, man. It's insane. The fact that these people, man, they are in government, it's insane. It's insane. Begitla goes around telling people not to take the matters into their own hands. But he knows that if people call South African Police Service, if something is happening and people are calling South African Police Service, he knows that the South African Police Service are going to take 2 years before they get to the crime scene. So if you are in the house with your family and your children, and you hear criminals on your door trying to break into your home, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You are not even supposed to shoot at the criminals. Because if you shoot at the criminals, you are taking the matters into your own hand. You are supposed to call the South African Police Service and sit there with your family and wait for criminals to kill you, only for the South African Police Service to arrive tomorrow at the scene. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want the criminals to come and do as they please. They want criminals to do as they please. And who the hell does this thing she is, telling South Africans not to protect South Africa? No, South Africa has a right to walk around with a machine gun. Do illegal foreigners have a right to walk around with illegal guns, with guns? How many guns have you seen from these people who come outside of South Africa illegal? How many guns have you seen? So this woman is simply going to sit here and pretend like illegal foreigners don't even have the guns. These people, they don't brandish guns all over the place. But you, as a South African, so you are not even allowed to protect your country. No matter. She doesn't care who you are. Just like Bekitzel is telling you, you don't have to protect your family. You don't have a right to protect your family. You don't have the right to take the matters into your own hand. These people are telling us to trust them, and they are broken down institutions.
Patrol these borders on our behalf. We ask people to allow those responsible for those.
Man, if we were to sit here and allow those who were responsible to guard the borders to actually guard the borders, man, can you see what is already happening, man? Why is this lady leaving, man? Why is this lady leaving? This is the reason why I'm saying these people are out of touch with reality. She's out of touch with reality, man. She's saying South Africans must sit back and wait for the people who are required to deal with such matters, to deal with them. This woman is completely out of touch with reality. She doesn't know what average South Africans are facing on the ground. That's why she can stand there with such arrogance on national television, telling South Africans that they don't have a right to protect their own country. It's insane. It's insane, man. What these people are committing into this country is treason. This is treason at its highest order. This is treason. We don't have the borders, man. Patriotic Alliance only exposed a fraction of our borders. Can you imagine if right now Patriotic Alliance, if they were to move all around South Africa to show South Africans that we don't have the borders? These people only exposed a fraction of what is happening. And now the South African government is angry at Patriotic Alliance for exposing them. They are not angry that criminals are working inside of South Africa. They are not angry at that. Because that's how I see it. If you want to come into the country illegally, you are a criminal. I don't care who you are. You are a criminal. You are a criminal. If you want good things, if you want to contribute into this society, then you will do it in a proper manner. But anyone who crosses the border with crocodiles there, those people, they do not have good intentions for South Africa. Why is it so hard for this thing for people to understand? Why is it so hard? This lady standing there live on national television with such a smirk, telling South Africans that they don't have a right to defend their own country. The sooner you get rid of these people, guys, the better. The sooner you get rid of these people, the better. That's all I'm gonna say. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.